una estrella le guiaba para seguir su camino.
Welcome into Oakland, California, in this only game of Western Ultimate League Week 8 action between the San Francisco Falcons and the Arizona Sidewinders. It's also a play-in game. I am Jenna Weiner here in the booth with Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence, this is going to be a fun one.
It's going to be fun one indeed. The math is simple. You win, you're in the championship weekend. You lose, you're heading home. So I love the math. Both teams are excited. And let's get the disc roll and get this thing going.
Both teams coming into the weekend at 3-4 after both picked up wins in their last games, both on the road. Very similar feelings for both teams coming into this game. San Francisco most recently in action out at the Wild Weekend, picking up a win over Colorado Alpenglow by a single point, 15-14, while Arizona picked up their first away win in 2 regular seasons, 16-10, away at LA back in week 6. So, a lot of storylines, Lawrence. Where do you want to start for this game?
Well, I want to talk about the Falcons and what they did against Colorado Alpenglow. It took a team effort. It went down to the last seconds of the game, and they finally got their break. But they stayed with it. That tenacity, that focus, it's going to be a long game, and it's going to take those micro situations to really get this win. So we're going to see how it happens, but that's where I want to start, with the Falcons and that terrific win against Alpenglow.
Well, if we're talking then about Arizona, the biggest thing for the Sidewinders is they are great when they are home. Both last season and this season picking up 2 wins at the opening Sidewinders Showdown. This season wins, surprising really, at least initially, over Seattle Tempest and Oregon Onyx, on the back of a terrific defense that generates plenty of break chances. So it's going to be a similar story again tonight. And the question of, can the San Francisco offense do what it needs to be settled enough, and when? Because there will be turns when Arizona has their break chances. Will the Sidewinders be able to convert, or will San Francisco just be able to hold? A key stat I saw after the 3rd quarter against Alpenglow last weekend, San Francisco had 10 holds, but only 1 of those was clean. So limiting the turnover is always a key, but it's going to be especially key for the San Francisco offense tonight.
Absolutely, and I would say on the inverse for both teams, can they break the other side? Can they find enough opportunities to put the handler stack in a pressure, high stall count situation, and create those turns and capitalize on those? And that's going to make it, it's energy management. If you can get that done and get off the defense off the field quickly, that's going to be great. But if it goes back and forth and there's a lot of long points, it's definitely going to be a game of attrition. But I think both teams are in it to win it, and they're ready. They've got the stamina, and they're ready to go. Either it's a long game or a short one, but it's definitely the turns are going to be critical.
It's pretty decent weather, though, here in Oakland, California. Temps in the high 60s at the moment. A bit of wind, but hopefully not too much wind that will affect throws that much. Captains meeting in the center of the field. Let's run down some of the stat leaders for you coming to this game, starting with the home team, San Francisco Falcons. Melina Wiebe is available. 10 goals tied for the team lead with Mila Hernandez-Flowerman. Hernandez-Flowerman out. Falcons have a 30-person roster. They only bring in 21 active players. So while Hernandez-Flowerman is out, Wiebe is back after playing the opening 2 games, picking up 10 goals. Expect her to be a potent threat for the San Francisco offense. And the Falcons also bring in all 3 of their leading assist throwers, Midi Chang, Eliza Pugh, and Gina Schumacher, all leading the way in assists for San Francisco. All are available tonight, and so they will be the key distributors for San Francisco. As for Arizona, as for the visitors, Megan Maxfield leads the way with 15 goals, along with Kez Gazelle with 13 goals. Notably, no Carly Garrett of 13 goals. Again, limits in terms of roster for the traveling Sidewinders. On the assist side, Chip Chang, 21 assists. Keep an eye out for Chang. It's very, very likely he's going to pick up not 1, not 2, but quite a few assists over the course of this game. Falcons will be in dark. Sidewinders look like they will be in light, as we are just moments away, it feels like, from this crucial game, the last game of the regular season for both of these teams. And again, win or go home. You got to love a playing game.
Yeah, the fans are coming in, and as this competition starts, the crowd's going to start getting stoked. The Falcons definitely played great here. They haven't cashed in with the W, but it's been close contest, and the fans are very supportive. A lot of love here, and expect no less today on this beautiful day. Speaking of Chip Chang, I'm curious, talking with Coach Jeff Grobe and Kel, the assistant manager, assistant coach, and I was curious, like, you've got Chip who scores a lot. She dwarfs everybody with her assist, and does she like to work in the handler stack, or does she like to work in space? So I'm curious. I'm sure she's going to see a lot of touches, and she's going to be distributed. But I'm curious to see, are they going to get her out in open space? Because I'm sure it's no secret that the Falcons, I'm sure, see if they can slow her game down. It's a very formidable game. They're going to be able to get some scoring opportunities.
Definitely, and it'll be interesting to see how exactly it all plays out. Looks like the Falcons will be starting on defense, Arizona on offense. San Francisco will be pulling from right to left across your screen. Shayla Harris holding the disc at the moment as the Falcons defensive line gets set. And Arizona about ready to pull here in Oakland, California. Again, win or go home. Everything comes down to tonight. It's going to be 4 great quarters of action. And here we go with the opening pull. Shayla Harris putting it into play for San Francisco. Chang picks up the disc for Arizona. Gazelle wide. Applegate. Chang, great layout catch to save possession.
Beautiful.
Low. Gazelle. Chang. Near sideline. Low throw. Layout block. Shayla Harris.
Big D.
The layout block after the pull of Vivian Chu. Quick up the near sideline. Molly Munson. San Francisco gets an immediate break chance to open the game. Munson unmarked.
There you go. Great grab.
It was low from Chu, and then ensuing throw too high for Harris. Gazelle will add to her block total, one of the block leaders on this block-happy Sidewinders team. And Arizona gets another chance on offense. Caroline O'Connell working in the backfield with Chang. O'Connell puts it deep. Jacqueline Wynn able to deny Gazelle. Matchup of the 42s. Always fun to see when players have matchup numbers. Wynn. Chu. Teams feeling each other out a little bit. San Francisco's second break chance. Stepanitis resets to Chu. High for Wataoka. And a little bit shorter field this time for the Sidewinders.
Yeah, normally the Falcons' defense O is very smooth, so they're just a little slight miscues. They'll be on track soon enough. Still
Chang, Alpgate in the backfield. Those two tend to work a ton in the backfield. The pit call will keep the disc in Chang's hands. Notable pre-stall count for those of you who may not be familiar with us. We are already into week 8 somehow of the Western Ultimate League season. Players are able to move for a 4-second count. High stall, hammer. Gazelle nearly, but not there. San Francisco defense doing a good job to slow the Sidewinders down. Sidewinders just a little stagnant in the reset space. Chang forced to put up that high stall hammer.
They're not shy going. They're looking long, so they're not going east to west. They are looking to go down the field. So pinned in the back of the corner. Let's see if the D line can move the O.
Chu gets it off of the end zone line. Wataoka near sideline Harris. Harris inside throw off the hands of Stepanidis. And it's another chance for Arizona. Longer opening point. Applegate. Wide for Landry. Landry 5 yards out. Resets to Applegate. Far sideline. High release. Chang not in. And it's Gazelle with the score. That is an Arizona hole. Sidewinders lead 1-0.
That was a beautiful catch, an athletic catch. That is a WUL catch. Those are the catches that are made, very branded for this league. Amazing catch and score.
Longer point, which I think if you're the San Francisco defense, you can't be that sad about. After all, you did make the Sidewinders offense have to go at it. And if they keep up the pressure, eventually it'll come good for the Falcons. For Arizona, hey, first point's out of the way. You got the hole, get the nerves settled on the road, and just move on from there.
I mean, that's a great point. You kept the offense out there long. You definitely want to gas them, and that's definitely a great point. And it was, look, the Falcons had their opportunity to move it down the field. So I expect the D-line to get back in shape again. So let's see, it's the O-line's chance.
Notably, wind is a little bit left to right across your screens as the Sidewinders pull goes out of bounds. So that was a little bit of a downwind hold for Arizona, and now San Francisco will look to emulate their Arizona counterparts.
It's not windy enough to play a Z. Look, are they playing a little poachy? They might see our first Z here.
Looks like a poachy set on the handlers from the Sidewinders. Anderson and Ting working in the backfield for San Francisco. Near sideline hammer. Low throw resets to Ting.
Beautiful catch.
Pugh. Falcons leading assist thrower. Finds Maru.
Maru was breaking ankles out there in space.
And it's our first look at Weeby since the Week 2 matchup. Finds Schumacher. Finds Pugh. Too far for Weeby, but there's Maru for the goal. That's a clean San Francisco hold. We're all tied up 1-1.
Amanda Maru in space. She's dictating, imposing her will out there. That was a beautiful give and go. Got her. Oh, that was beautiful. Nice work, Amanda.
Notably, looking at that San Francisco offensive line, Lawrence, when you and I were talking before the game, before we got on air, I was saying that looking at the San Francisco roster, if you asked me at the beginning of the season to name my top 21 players I would want to play in a win or go home scenario, the 21 players who are playing tonight might be near or all of those 21 players. San Francisco putting all of their top talent out on the field. That's no discredit to the other 9 players who aren't available tonight, but just to say that Coach Manisha Dariani knows how important this game is and knows that if she can do it, she's going to put as many of her top players on the field, and it resulted in a clean hold that first offensive point.
Yeah, you're right. And if on the Sidewinders, those are players like Amanda Moreau, you don't want her comfortable.
Landry trying to go quick, go deep. Not in, though. That's Maxfield, nearly adding another goal to her 15-goal tally. Instead, resets to Applegate. Low, around throw, and Maxfield gets it in the end. And that's a clean, quick Arizona hold. They lead 2-1.
That was great. I was talking to Coach Grobe. I'll probably mention a few times during the game, and he's talked that Paige Applegate was not available the first time when the Sidewinders played the Falcons. And calming handler, calming presence on the O-line, and definitely as an exhibit 1 in the red zone there.
Yeah, Applegate, nice reset there for Maxfield. Maxfield nearly thought she had run it all the way in, but not quite able to get the around throw on the assist. I think that was Caitlin Kaiser. And a hold so far, I would say pretty clean. Not so clean first point, but next clean points these last couple.
Well, it's looking like both offenses are feeling good. I mean, this next point, look, the Sidewinders look very comfortable. They got into their offense quick, and they got off, as did the Falcons. So let's see. Can the defenses impose their will and slow the comfort zone of either team?
Again, a pull just to about half field. Pulls going upwind. Offense is working downwind for the most part. Inside throw. Pugh able to get it. Maru getting low for it. Back to Pugh. Offense a little static. And it's a quick block from Arizona. And an immediate turnover for the other Applegate. Sam Applegate able to get in the way. Applegate sisters getting a chance to play against each other. Always fun to see the sibling rivalry. Wide. Maru.
Good
Schumacher.
find. Gina Schumacher in space is always a good thing for the Falcons.
Pugh momentarily unmarked. Trying to find an outlet.
A big high release to space.
Floaty. Anderson not there. An opportunity missed for San Francisco. He had some nice flow there for a moment before just stuttering at the end zone line.
Look, the red zone's about energy management. Now you got to defend. If this disc goes all the way down the field, that's a lot of wasted energy. Definitely valuing the red zone. Easier said than done, but it's great when you're able to do it with efficiently.
Sidewinders getting their first break chance. Working upwind. This far sideline put up. It's Lippincott deep from Steiner. Not quite able to get it on the bid. Just floating out of reach. And I think for Falcons, breathe a quick sigh of relief. Seemed like Lippincott had space all the way down. Sam Applegate looking deep. Weeby, she's quick. Can she get there? Oh yeah! Layout, Melina Weeby. Falcons score, brings us to 2-all.
That was exciting. Beautifully done. Nice layout, nice boost.
Weeby, one of the fastest players, I would have to presume, on this Falcons roster. And if you're San Francisco, happy, very, very happy to have one of your at least star goal scorers back after missing the bulk of the middle part of the season. Weeby just able to track it down with that incredible layout catch.
So let me clarify. There was Applegate got the assist this last point. Applegate got an assist for this point.
Something like that.
Deja vu here?
Something like that.
This could make Thanksgiving kind of awkward. Let's see what happens. They are sisters. This is what we're alluding to.
Again, all download hold so far. Break chances both ways early as we are already under halfway through the first quarter. Clock's moving right along. Teams are getting their offenses going. Chang putting the disc into play for Arizona. Back to Chang near sideline.
Nice, D.
Kaiser O'Connell now far sideline. O'Connell trying to find Kaiser. O'Connell gets the reset to Chang.
Nice.
O'Connell thought about it. Said opts for the undercut. Kelsey Bradley. Arizona getting nice movement so far, but not that many yards up the field. Chang, Maxfield.
As the sun starts to set, it's going to be tougher to catch the disc in this direction. Good
And
D.
Munson, sneaky little poach block, able to get in there. Kaiser a little disappointed about letting that poach block come through. Another opportunity. Elias Chang near sideline. Working with Meaty Chang. The Falcons. Back to Elias Chang. Jacqueline Wataoka. Nearly there for the block is Kaiser. Stepanitis. Wataoka. Player deep.
They got their look.
Sends it deep. Can they read it?
Nice read.
Not able to. It's Pinwin Wong nearly able to come up with the catch, but just floats over her head.
Falcons were in flow. That was beautiful.
Sidewinders get another breath. Another chance to hold. But outside of those couple of clean holds, neither offense has looked the most comfortable out here. Unsure if the win is more of a factor for the players down on the field than we may be seeing and feeling it up in the booth. Colin Bradley, now Gazelle, far sideline.
when you really pressure a handler up close with a 7-second stall count, that can give you pause.
O'Connell trying to get folks to head deep. Instead hits Landry on the under. Landry, Gazelle, just able to keep it in on the near sideline. Chang, great reset option, and O'Connell puts it deep, trying to hit Landry. Not gonna be there. Tricky when you're trying to put it downwind, especially. Sometimes those discs just zip right out of your receiver's reach. Happened there with Landry.
Yeah, during long points and you get a boost, you want to get someone in flow going deep, and I think you have the player who's stationary or a slight jog, it can easily overshoot the cutter.
San Francisco able to get to this to Stepanidis on the near sideline. Munson with the nice early throw, able to get it center of the field. Jacqueline Wynn. Back to Munson. Still, offense is not quite clicking. Midi Chang to Eliza Chang. Far sideline. Trying to get something going are the Falcons. Wataoka thinks about it. Opts for the crossfield throw, and it floats out of bounds on the near sideline. Wynn not able to track it down.
They're definitely making those windows around Jacqueline to win more difficult. I don't know if that's on purpose or by accident, but it's nice to be able to get her in space with the disc.
And O'Connell takes an injury sub, replaced by Applegate. And San Francisco opting for a sub as well. Midi Chang walking off the field, replaced by Vivian Chu. So not full subs as we might see from a timeout situation, but a couple of injury subs I'm sure will be helpful to have fresh legs for both teams. And it'll be Applegate, marked by Stepanidis near sideline. Hammer, high stall. Landry is there, able to track it down. Sidewinders escape. Far sideline pick call. Just able to get out of trouble. It's Arizona with that over-the-top hammer throw.
And this speed of this game and with the space, inverts are inverted throw. Oh,
floaty throw. Disc is down. Chang not quite able to get there. We saw Chip Chang pick up an incredible Callahan the other week with a diving grab. Not able to do so this time around. Stepanidis, far sideline, finds Munson. This is another San Francisco break chance. Inside throw, win.
Nice IO.
On the second effort. And Sidewinders starting to get spread. See if the Falcons can take advantage as Arizona tries to catch up on defense. Chu. Big bit by Maxfield. Not able to get there, and it's a break. Falcons break. That's Wong with the assist. Thanks to Eliza Chang, and that is the first break of the game. San Francisco first lead of the game, 3-2.
That was nicely done. The disc did go through Kobe, Jacqueline to win. What I was saying is in this game, if you can throw some scoobers, some hammers, well-timed, you can take advantage of that space and go break side, and a lot of cool things can happen. But they did it traditionally, right down the middle, dicing and slicing. Great score for the Falcons.
Maxfield nearly coming up with a highlight block. Maxfield, no stranger to those types of big plays for the Sidewinders, but Wong just able to get in front of Maxfield for the catch, and then the assist to Eliza Chang. Just under a minute left in the first quarter. A reminder about the end of quarter rules. The team that has the possession of the disc when the clock hits 0 will maintain possession of the disc until they score or until there is a turnover. There are no buzzer beaters in the Western Ultimate League. If you're going to score, you got to work it in. I guess you could put it deep, but not a need to, certainly. High throw for Arizona.
You still have the stall count, so it's like you can't be chill, but you're not chasing a clock.
Cynthia Thomas, reset inside, and it's off the hands of Eifert. Carly Steiner trying to get to Eifert. Midi Chang back out on the field after the sub. Rachel Clarkson, far sideline. Sam Loop, far sideline. Falcons maintaining possession. Pick called.
Time has expired, so it's a possession game.
Means either the quarter will end in a Falcon score or in a turnover. This will go back to Meaty Chang. Pre-stall motion. Reset goes across to Julian Mankoff. Mankoff back to Meaty Chang. Around to Hammer. Hammer free there. Score. That's a break. Vicky Chen for San Francisco. They have a 2-goal, 2-break lead as we end the first quarter up 4-2.
Fantastic. They ran their red zone offense nice and smooth and got a layup. That was terrific.
Thought that Thomas might have been able to get there for the block, but again, not quite there for Arizona. And for San Francisco, this is the start you want at home. 2-goal lead, up a couple of breaks. It's a positive start so far for the Falcons.
The home cooking is nice. They're playing solid. The fans are appreciative. So let's see. Let's see how the Sidewinders respond. What do you think the coach is talking to on the Sidewinders coach is talking to their team?
I think just trying to get the offense going, find the open person. Sidewinders offense looking a little stagnant so far. As for the San Francisco coaches, more of the same. Keep up that defensive pressure. It's generated quite a number of break chances and a couple of break conversions. We're going to step away, though, for a quick break. When we come back, start of the second quarter, Falcons will be starting out on offense.
Being a member of the Castoro Cellars Wine Club is truly a unique experience. Not only do members get access to our best wines, they become part of our extended family and play a huge role in the way we run our business and make our wines. Being a member is fun, exciting, and informative. We work very hard to make sure our club members receive our best wines in their shipments, along with detailed information from our owners, winemaking team, and tasting room staff. There's never a shortage of entertainment at Castoro, and our members are always kept in the loop and taken great care of. From member-only events to Whale Rock Music and Arts Festival, our club encourages you to live life to the fullest. We invite all to join, from the wine connoisseur to the casual wine drinker. For us, it's about sharing our passion and love for making damn fine wine. Join the club and join the family today.
And welcome back to Oakland, California for the start of the second quarter. The hometown San Francisco Falcons holding a 4-2 lead over the visiting Arizona Sidewinders. I'm Jonah Weiner, joined in the booth by Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence, there's a question, I think, at the start of the game of the Sidewinders defense able to get break chances and break opportunities against San Francisco. They'll have a chance to do it on this opening point of the second quarter, but in the first quarter, a couple of break chances, break conversions, from the Falcons. What do you expect in the second quarter? More of the same or a little bit more defensive pressure and conversion from Arizona?
Right now, I think the coach is saying, look, this can continue. We got a Z right now, but let's see if we can just work our game. There's no major tweaks we need to do, and then we'll see what it looks like at halftime. But two goals are not out of the woods. They're in the game, in the conversation. So continue just to play your system.
As you mentioned, looks like a bit of a zone look from Arizona. Falcons content to swing it side to side, except for getting it up the field to Maru Pugh. Nice inside throw. And it's just a drop from Anderson. Maybe a drop in concentration or something. Not what you would expect unguarded. And Sidewinders with an immediate break chance. Steiner near sideline. Floaty throw. Able to be reeled in by Shelby Petty. Low to Melissa Merrick. Petty. And off the hands of Steiner. Anderson thinking about picking it back up, trying to get a little bit of redemption for the drop. And Sidewinders sell back into that zone look.
So if each team can minimize self-imposed miscues, I think each team will be fine. But there's still a little bit of the win's a factor, but minimizes those miscues, and things will be smoother for both teams.
Ting Pugh working in the backfield. Now it's Schumacher on the far sideline. Pugh up the line. Guard by Steiner. Float throw. Applegate. Caught. Not in, though. Not in, though. Oh.
She's not.
And that will probably be ruled a turnover.
Would that be?
That'll be ruled a turnover. Applegate didn't realize that the observer had ruled her out. Whether or not the player necessarily thinks the observed game, observers are making the rulings in or out, and because Applegate spiked with the upward toss, it's a turn and a little bit of luck going Arizona's way, just going back to Steiner's hands, and they have another break chance.
That was very unusual. I could see the excitement. Like, I'm not in. What?
Petty, near sideline, low throw. And it's not been the cleanest point for San Francisco. They're getting their chances back. Maru, Wiebe, Schumacher, goal for good this time. That's a break. Sorry, I think that's a hold to open the second quarter.
That is a hold.
San Francisco up 5-2.
So now's the time. What do the Sidewinders need to do to keep San Francisco from being comfortable on their O? Right now, San Francisco, both sides seem very, very comfortable with little distress. So this happens. Let's see what happens. The Sidewinders, can they get downfield? They're going to be going into the wind. And let's see what they can do.
And I mean, here's the thing, right? If you're San Francisco, I think part of the reason why I thought it was a break is because they had so many opportunities,
right.
Just the mistakes. Unforced drop from Anderson. Applegate not realizing that the observers had not ruled her in, giving up that turnover on the not a spike. Really sort of funky situation so far for San Francisco. But again, if you're the coaching staff of San Francisco, hey, we got a hold. We didn't give up the break. We can move on, clear our heads, and move on to the next point.
Completely. They're feeling good. The systems are working.
And back to the Sidewinders, trying to settle after they've given up at least 3 straight points, if not 4 straight points, because I think it was 2-1 Arizona, and that's now 5-2 to San Francisco. Maxfield, far sideline to Applegate. Page, that is. Back to Maxfield, marked by Stepanitis. Gazelle puts up the hook. Landry.
Nice. Oh, great
But
D.
Harris able to clean up the block. Trying to generate the inside space, and throw just smacks Meaty Chang in the face. Accidental results in the turnover.
Amazing hands as a player. It had to have been little gust of wind can take a disc off its path and surprise. And even the wind, even the sun in this direction is very bright. So the disc moving from our left to right can definitely, with the sun, can definitely be the 8th defender on the field.
And while Harris would get credit for the block, disc is now back with Arizona. A little bit of free yardage, and not able to get there is Maxfield on the layout. Arizona simply not able to get their offense going, not able to string passes together, and San Francisco with another break chance. High stall, able to get the reset. Wataoka on the upline now from Munson. Harris in.
Big
Puts
boost.
it deep to Stepanitis. Stepanitis just sails out of reach. Nearly there, had steps on Maxfield, but the wind just taking the disc away from her.
Yeah, the wind's playing a little factor. Both sides. The Sidewinders looking at during warm-ups looked really comfortable in sync. The Falcons have been keeping them from being comfortable on the field.
Harris nearly able to get there for another block against Landry. Not quite disc now in the hands of Maxfield, center of the field. Paige Applegate working in the backfield. Finds Chip Chang. Chang.
Saucy.
Gazelle. Floated throw. And another block. Munson. Again, you can tell that the wind is a factor. Player's not quite able to get it. Nice touchy throw. Mankoff just needs support. Stepanitis. Chu around. Wataoka. Falcons on a roll, up 6-2. That's their third break of the game.
I would not be surprised right now that you don't get a timeout from the Sidewinders to try to settle, have a conversation. Let's see what happens. The Falcons are very comfortable, very, very comfortable. They're able to go anywhere on the field. No, they're rolling through. Sidewinders are rolling through.
Sidewinders simply don't seem to have any answers at the moment. And players just having a tough time, which I understand they travel. Was seeing on Twitter and Instagram that the Arizona crew was traveling, at least some of them this morning, out from Arizona this direction, up northwest from here, from Arizona up to Oakland, California. But still, this is a team that took down in week 1 Seattle and Oregon, albeit at home. So I would expect better things from Arizona going forward. I don't think it will remain this one-sided as it has been for the last number of points in San Francisco's favor.
All the players I spoke to, as well as the coach, they were psyched about this game. They have someone open deep. Do they find her? Yes.
Deep throw. Seemingly blown coverage. And that's exactly what you want if you're the Sidewinders. A quick, clean, easy hold.
And just like that, they got one back. Very simple. Offense off the field. Now it's the defense. Can they hold?
And that was Kaya Trepp getting a free. Again, unsure what the miscommunication was. Win was somewhat in the vicinity, perhaps some switched up coverage or a zone defensive look or something for the Falcons that just didn't come off. And for Arizona, now it's time to try and start earning those breaks back. You have trust in your defense. Now it's time for them to go out and get it done.
Yes, I was talking to VY Chow. She's one of the assistant coaches on the field, and we talked about the power of communication and being on the same page and miscues. And maybe that was something that happened on the line for miscue, or just somebody, you thought you had somebody and you didn't. And those are those small communication breakdowns that can pay dearly.
But San Francisco able to get back out on offense, going downwind. Pugh in the backfield. Reset to Anderson. Weeby.
Great hands.
Capable mark there by Sam Myland. But Pugh really trying to hit those inside throws, and Schumacher just drops it. Lippincott takes off deep. Huck goes up for Petty. Not there. Upwind. Huck just falls short, looking for Lippincott after the drop from Schumacher.
Yeah, with the sun, I keep saying it, it can definitely make for unexpected doinks, because it comes in hot, and it's tough to see a bright white disc with a lot of sun on it.
Maru. Reset. Pugh. Big layout attempt by Thomas. Hammer gets it. Trying to find Weeby. Weeby there. Not quite in. Good double check with the observer. Maru. Inside throw. Pugh. Not in. Falcons on the doorstep. Pugh. Around throw. Hammer. Layout. Score. Falcons hold back to a 4-goal margin, 7-3.
I love the athleticism of the Falcons. That was an amazing catch. It was a beautiful release. It was a great backhand, and sometimes you just got to be an athlete and fly and make that grab.
Again, I said it before, we'll continue to say it all game. Arizona out here trying to make some plays on the road. That was Thomas nearly coming up with the layout block. But instead, Huck goes up, and eventually there's some nice patience, good checking with the observers. Make sure that you're actually called in when you are and not when you're not. So there's not another repeat incident of earlier, and it's Hammer with the incredible layout catch.
Yeah, and I love Hammer's chill spike. Like, I do this every day. What's the big deal? I lay out and make great catches.
Game's moving pretty quick in these evening hours here in the Bay Area, under halfway in the second quarter. San Francisco holding a 7-3 lead. Arizona trying to get another hold on the board. O'Connell working with Chip Chang in the backfield. Chang marked by Chu.
Currently, the last few sessions with the Sidewinders, any progress downfield is like a 5-yard gain, and it goes backwards. They're definitely Falcons are definitely closing the windows, making them tight downfield.
Plenty of defensive pressure from the hometown team. O'Connell thought about the deep shot. Finds Landry on the underneath instead. Back to O'Connell. Wide, Gazelle just able to get there with the sliding grab. Up the line to Maxfield. Maxfield, marked by Wong. Floated throw. Mankoff able to get the block. Walk it up. And floated throw from Harris. Simultaneous catch, O'Connell Harris. We'll see how this one gets decided.
Should be tie goes to the offensive player. Let's see how it's worked out on the field. They're going to bring in, if they're going to bring in the observers or not to make a ruling.
Observer ruling contested means the disc will be going back.
So 50-50s go back.
At least in this case, maybe Mankoff will be happy to get that floated throw back that gave O'Connell the chance to even get the potential block opportunity. And swings it wide to Wataoka. First sideline, Chu. Harris hits the turf. Wong comes under. Call. Looks like between Monson and Gazelle. This is going to get reset. Be a violation call. And Mankoff will get a third chance to put the San Francisco offense into movement. Again, the pre-stall count.
Pre-stall is interesting. You can get downfield, get in the flow.
I certainly like it better than some of the more traditional. Oh! Immediate poach block from Arizona. Page Applegate getting in the way. Gazelle near sideline. This is still an Arizona offensive point, and Maxfield makes sure it stays in the Sidewinders' possession. Near sideline. Reset Applegate. Applegate. Inside O'Connell. O'Connell, Landry, score! That is an Arizona goal. Sidewinders hold, bring the game back to within 3, down 7-4.
Now, Coach Grobe for the Sidewinders is very, very comfortable. Sidewinders have their footing. They're able to score. Nice work. Now, the Falcons. Nothing to freak out about. Let's just right the ship a little bit and get back to what we do best.
And we're under 2 minutes to go in the quarter, so if the disc goes out of play at any point, the clock will stop. Just something to be keeping in mind as we get into these end of quarter situations, in this case, end of the first half. Falcons still holding that break advantage. Arizona having some chances to break, but mostly just trying to get the offense in order, able to do it to the tune of a hold on that point. Landry with the toe grab on the sideline.
This Falcon lineup is great. They're starting with a short field, which is perfect.
Julie Teen goes to pick up the disc. Centers to Pugh. Same Applegate on the underneath cut for San Francisco. Reset. Pugh. Falcons operating out of a horizontal.
Nice bid.
Thomas nearly again putting it all out on the field, trying to sync up that timing. Sam Applegate near sideline. Just throws it into the arm of Jordan Harn for the block. And another Sidewinders break chance. See if they can convert to end the half in commentator's curse. Harn with the block, but not able to get the continuation throw.
Falcons trying to fast break. They get calm and settled.
Schumacher, lefty, over the top. Wiebe, cut, score! Falcons hold.
Let me tell you, you find Schumacher in space and good things happen. I was talking to her before the game, and she sort of smiled. She says, yes, I like to do that magical thing in space and shoot downfield. So definitely, case in point. Nice job, Gina.
Schumacher with, I think, at least a goal and an assist so far. Wiebe with a couple of goals to her credit as well. And Falcons missing Hernandez Flowerman, one of their double-digit goal scorers, but with Wiebe back, making up for already 2 goals so far this first half.
And I definitely want to shout out to Mara Saltzman. That was another fantastic player in space that the Spiders don't have. But next person up, and they're definitely showing the depth that the Falcons have.
And we're under a minute to play in the first half. Sun continues to drop as Sam Loop will put this in play. One of the better upwind pulls we've seen, gets it all the way down past half field. And Sidewinders trying to work out that horizontal stack. Landry.
If you can get it to the 30, 20, there you go. 30, 25, that's very advantageous for the defense on a pull.
This just bounces off the hands of Melissa Steller.
Again, the sun plays a factor.
Giving the Falcons another chance. Loop, inside throw. Gazelle nearly there, but not quite.
Falcons in space.
Stepanitis, far sideline. Win, tried to get the reset, and timeout called. Timeout called from San Francisco.
That's a perfect call.
Might be a question of whether the timeout was called before a potential stall.
Coach Dariani, this is a perfect time to call the timeout. Set up a play.
Teams do have 2 timeouts per half. Neither team had to use the timeout up to this point. Stall is what the observer is signaling. Coach Dariani will be trying to discuss the timing of it.
Did it look like they were calling a stall?
I think the situation may be that there might have been a stall call from Steller on Stepanitis on the far sideline. But also, it's possible Coach Dariani was trying to call timeout from the near sideline, and maybe there's a conversation happening between the 2 coaches and the observers about what the ruling is. Doesn't look like it's going San Francisco's way. That'll be a stall call.
Looking at body
contested
language.
Stall call,
yeah.
Which I wonder if then Coach Dariani, if it is contested. Nope, not contested. Never mind. Hand signals I thought were contested. Turns out it is a turnover. Arizona will get the chance to possess the disc for the final possession of the first half, and Chip Chang calls timeout. So 1 near timeout call, not clear if it was fully communicated, and then a timeout call by Chang on the turnover to try and get the Arizona offense set up.
It looks like that was definitely a quick stall count for the Falcons. And normally, Coach definitely calls, Coach Dariani calls a timeout in that area, and I thought it was going to work out perfectly with time remaining. But you got a situation where, okay, can the Falcons stop it? So do you run a play and boost it, or you just go side to side and work it down the field?
I think if you're Arizona, you might as well try and work the possession unless you have someone available in the deep space. You want to just try and get the score one way or another. You don't want to try and risk it right away. You don't need to, certainly. And I do think going back to that not a timeout attempt from Coach Dariani, I think it's something where some of his conversations about how much of a role do the observers have in terms of potentially calling in or out or potentially counting a stall. Certainly a 7-second stall can go by pretty quickly, but the observers are not counting the stall count. Might it be something looking forward to future seasons where observers take a slightly more active role in ensuring that it is a 7-second stall? Because maybe that was the issue for Coach Dariani, thinking it was a full 7-second stall that might have been counted a little quick. Chang and layout block from Wynn. And that will end the half on a highlight. Jacqueline Wynn, the former Callahan winner out of UC Berkeley, with a highlight block. San Francisco with an 8-4 halftime lead.
What would have been cool if there was a sick catch with a second left and the possession time runs out and they keep the possession. That was not the case, but that was a fantastic deep play.
So, San Francisco, 4-point lead going into halftime. All breaks in the Falcons' favor so far. Lawrence, what are you thinking for the Sidewinders to be able to make a comeback in the second half?
Well, at some point in this game, you're thinking the Sidewinders need to call timeout and settle the troops. Coach Grove said, we're going to play through this. I believe in my team. They're going to get their footing. And they did. They got their footing and went down the field. So you can demonstrate if you play our game, we know what it looks like and we can score. If you can minimize self-inflicted, just catch the disc, do the dump resets with ease, I think they're good. That said, the Falcons' downfield defense is tough, and they're making it very tough. If they can get their footing again and then continue to impose their will, I think it's gonna play out. But I'm looking in the crystal ball for the third quarter. Let's see what happens. But right now, I think the Falcons like what they're looking at, and the Sidewinders, play their game and they'll be good.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break for halftime. When we come back, we'll be talking more about looking forward to the second half of this Falcons Sidewinders game in Oakland, California.
defense faces.
Players of all identities and backgrounds deserve an equal opportunity to be recognized and lauded for our achievements in our sport.
We believe in sustainably and responsibly creating equitable and accessible avenues for women and non-binary athletes to join and participate in our sport.
We believe that being transparent, open, and responsive to criticism is critical,
and that there should always be space
to fix our mistakes, grow,
and be better.
We
are the Western Ultimate League.
Welcome back to Oakland, California, as we get ready to start the second half of this Western Ultimate League Week 8 action. The San Francisco Falcons taking on the Arizona Sidewinders in a win or go home game so far. It has been pretty much all San Francisco in the first half. I'm Jenna Weiner, joined in the booth by Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence, Falcons able to get a few breaks in the first half. Arizona's offense just kind of sputtering at times. If you were in the Sidewinders huddle, what are you telling your team to make up this 4-goal deficit in the second half?
Well, if we're down by 4, I think we need to go. So you need to find a way to shoot deep. Going side to side, east-west, is not advantageous. Definitely you want to be able to take deep looks, and then you say, look, we're going to take deep looks, and we're going to have to, if we miss it, let's get it to the end zone or the red zone and do lockdown D for our O-line and try to get it back. That's the one thing I would say. Just get some more looks, because right now if you're turning east and west, you're really setting it up for the Falcons to get a jump start and a D run.
Yeah, and for the Falcons, it writes much of the same except trying to reduce those unforced errors. Falcons got away with a couple, including that incredible not in call when Sam Applegate caught the goal and turned it over on the spike. So something for San Francisco to clean up. They'll be starting, I think, back out on defense, this time getting a chance to play defense going downwind. And for Arizona, it's going to be about trying to generate those break chances, but first they'll need a hold to start the second half.
Yeah, that's good. They're going to come out, and if they can hold, fantastic. It's easier to go in this direction because the sun is not going to be a factor when you're turning back and seeing the disc into your hands, but they're going to be going into the wind.
And Shayla Harris getting set to pull the disc for San Francisco to get the second half underway. Just one half of action left to decide the fate of the rest of the season for both of these teams. And Sidewinders get things moving. Chip Chang.
Great pull by the Falcons.
Chang Applegate working in the backfield. Chang marked by Vivian Chu. Wide to Eifert. Eifert having to hammer over the top to O'Connell. O'Connell just too tall for Munson. And Landry momentarily unguarded. Gazelle underneath. Applegate. Landry. It's been a lot of the same names for the Sidewinders throughout this game, especially on the offensive end. They're trying to get something going to start the second half.
Falcons content to allow the reset to go backwards and side to side.
Eifert now with the disc on the far sideline. Inside to Paige Applegate. Applegate floated throw up towards Landry. Harris denies, gets the block. That's, I think, Harris's at least third block of the game.
That was great. She got inside position. Great positioning for that one.
Harris, current coach and former player for the Stanford Superfly program, not able to contribute on that offensive possession as San Francisco turns it right back over to Arizona. Applegate. Chang, far sideline.
Sidewinders taking advantage of the pre-stall.
And just high stall count. Still, the Sidewinders offense not getting going. Win registering another block. The missed throw to Chu, but Harris is there to clean up.
Big under.
Vicky Chen on the near sideline. High stall count. Chu just able to get it. Puts it deep. Tries to get it over the past the defender. Layout grab. Score! Falcons! That's a break to start the second half.
That disc got magical. It went low, it went high, it went over the defender. Well, I think the fans are excited and kind of like, wow, what did we just see? That was a magical throw.
Eliza Chang is somehow able to get there. I thought for sure Applegate would get the block or the throw would be just too far away from Eliza Chang, but able to track it down. Chu just angling the throw just enough around the defensive Applegate for the score, and it's a 5-goal margin now for San Francisco. They lead 9-4.
That was an exciting play. It was amazing. Sort of like the disc became a little drone.
And that's not how you want to start the second half if you're Arizona. No. Tough sledding for the Sidewinders. Falcons feeling good at the moment about their chances of making their first appearance at championship weekend after just missing out in another decider last season as well in the last week of play. This time there's some more games to be played in this 2023 Western Ultimate League season, but these two teams are finishing out the regular seasons tonight.
So the imperative for the Sidewinders, value the red zone. Play keep away as long as you can, and it's a must. It really is a must. You have to score.
Kalen Kaiser able to get things going for Arizona.
Sidewinders got their target.
And deep shot to Lippincott is good. That's clean hold for Arizona. Hopefully that'll steady the nerves. Okay, Powell in the backfield and gets the deep shot to Lippincott for the score.
Yeah, Lippincott is a deep threat for Arizona, and case in point, that was great look. Arizona got in flow. I don't know what the Falcons did to allow that to happen. Maybe there was a slight adjustment to try something different, but you don't want the Sidewinders comfortable in flow.
And again, I think we said this in the first half on a similar situation. Falcons getting a little bit mixed up on the defensive deep space, their assignments downfield. But still, for San Francisco, that's just a hold. You keep on your business, still up 4 goals, 9-5. About 9 minutes to play left in this third quarter.
Falcons playing with a short field, definitely to their advantage.
Yeah, and after that initial Falcons break back into the start of the game set of downwind offense, Pugh across to Anderson, back to Pugh, inside for Ting. Zone look for Arizona, but San Francisco so far content to work through it. Anderson, near sideline. Sam Applegate's deep cut draws a couple of defenders across, nearly able to get a hand on his Jordan Harn.
Sidewinders are loaded up to really minimize the windows in the middle.
Perhaps content to let San Francisco work it side to side are the Sidewinders.
Nice.
Pugh over the Ting. Wide for Schumacher, and it's out of reach, and free for Arizona. Exactly as planned. Exactly as planned. It's fine as long as the Falcons turn it over and gives you a chance to break. Eifert. Center to Petty. Petty. Thomas. Oh, nearly able to make the spectacular grab. Not quite able to. Schumacher content to let it roll. And pick call. Or uncontested foul call. Contact looks like Thomas on Schumacher. Schumacher, lefty. Violation call. Thomas not quite happy with how things got put back into play from Schumacher. Perhaps not all the time of the 4-count pre-stall had elapsed. Schumacher, lefty, low. Maru able to get down to it. Maru wide. And it's Wiebe for the score. Falcons hold. And it's 10-5.
Right now, the Sidewinders, look, if you hold and go back and forth, the Falcons are happy all day. Something needs to happen. Breaks need to happen for the Sidewinders. Falcons looking great, making great catches, making great scores. And let me just clarify, having Gina Schumacher get the disc in space, there's so much confidence. There's an air of calm. She's able to slice and dice and pick her targets easily.
Well, and Weeby on the board again. No surprise. It seems like anytime she's on the field for San Francisco, at least it's a success on the offensive end. And as you said, that is fine for San Francisco to exchange holds, to go back and forth. That point started with just over 9 minutes to play. We are already under 7 minutes to play in this third quarter. And for San Francisco, you maintain your advantage and just let the time tick off. As long as you're holding, it is just fine. Arizona needs to go, it needs to score, it needs to do it efficiently. Gazelle underneath for the Sidewinders as they briefly get past half field. Kaiser near sideline.
Now, again, I want to mention the sun. That the disc goes up. You can see some of the players shielding their eyes on the far side of the field at times. So if that disc is coming, if it comes at a particular angle, it can be very difficult to catch.
Wind and shadows left to right on your screen. It's going to affect any receivers looking back that direction, but Landry able to get down to it for Arizona. Back to Applegate. Wide to the Gazelle. Gazelle.
Not an easy catch.
Oh, Applegate. Touchy high release throw near sideline. Still in bounds for Arizona. Kaiser up the line, not there. Mankoff happy to pick up another counting stat block. San Francisco's block leader has at least 2 this game so far. And San Francisco, another break chance. Chu chases it down. Landry nearly with the denial. A lot of close chances for the Sidewinders so far this game on defense. Not quite able to get there, and it's a Munson near sideline. Munson, high stall. And a stall call contested. Looks like the hand signal from Munson on the near sideline with Applegate on the mark.
The Falcons demonstrating their adeptness to make difficult catches look easy.
And the disc will come back to the near sideline. Observer ruling that it was a stall count. Stall forced by Applegate. Applegate might pick the disc back up again once the Sidewinders offense gets into a vertical sack approaching the end zone. Applegate back to O'Connell. To Applegate. Sidewinders forced back to half field. Gazelle near sideline, able to keep it in, marked by Mankoff. Still, this is time off the clock for San Francisco, and that is fine by them. Applegate trying to direct traffic. Gazelle just able to find the disc in the sun. Gets the reset back to Applegate.
At some point, if you get a reasonable look, you've got to take it.
Bradley. And this back to Applegate. Applegate is the center of everything right now for Arizona. No Chip Ching on the field. That means that Paige Applegate has got to be the one right now to make it happen for Arizona. Gazelle. Applegate thought about the up the line. Got back for it. Keeps the disc up. Maxfield. Patience for Arizona. Inside throw, and commentator's curse. Mankoff, that's 2 blocks at this point.
IOs in the small window are always give enough time for the defender to send a Hallmark card of thank you for throwing it to me.
And once again, San Francisco able to get the disc back into motion. No, it may not feel like it, but this is a San Francisco break chance. Chu putting it deep. Chang again? Yes! Just short of the end zone, though. Pinwin Wong available for the option. Gazelle nearly there, but it's Mankoff, the block, and the score. San Francisco now with a 6-goal lead, up 11-5.
That was magnificent. Way to go, coast to coast for the Falcons. Great catches. It was an exciting point to see.
Has to be so disappointing for Arizona, though. They have so much patience in the red zone. They get the stall call. They are able to work it time again. Paige Applegate, nearly every other, constantly getting this back. And at the last moment, that last pass into the end zone, not quite there. And the Falcons able to take it the length of the field the other way. Has to be deflating as we approach the closing stages of the third quarter.
And that's the thing with Ultimate. You think, oh, we've got 5 points or 3 points down. These long points can grind the clock, and what you think is a lot of time is a little. So right now, strategically, Sidewinders have to shoot. You tell your offensive line, look, we're going to shoot, and we have to do a lockdown defense in our red zone. And here you go.
There you go. Pull play going up for Arizona, and it's shorted. Vicky Chen able to get the block. And floated throw. Chen chases it down just past the bit of Lippincott. Another San Francisco break chance. Hammer looking deep for Clarkson. Is it going to hang? It is, but just off the hands.
If you are looking in that direction, the sun plays a big factor.
Sacramento native Clarkson not able to make the reception, but once again, Arizona having to work at the length of the field for another chance to hold. Round throw, nearly layout block from Wynn, but forces the pressure. Caitlin Dowse not able to make the reception.
And that's one of the things that when you get a little bit more frenetic, it can happen. Things can happen, look sort of out of kilter. But you practice these to go, we need to go hot. We need to, it's like we're going hot right now. We're going to start shooting and locking down D.
And just like that, it is 12-5. Falcons look well on their way towards championship weekend. Up 7 goals, Stepanidis able to get the reception on the over-the-top throw. Arizona just has to be searching for answers, has to be wondering, what can we possibly do at this point? Feels like we're doing what we can and just not able to make the final plays.
So right now, it's just a possession game for the Falcons. You can go east to west, move the disc, and just creep down the field. Do not, at worst case scenario, if it's a high stall count, punt it. But right now, Falcons are not in any rush. They still have another quarter to play, but right now, just go through your progressions and move it down the field.
Well, and to your point, that huck and play defense strategy worked well, even though that Clarkson wasn't able to make the initial reception. It didn't take long for Arizona to get to turn the disc over and the Falcons to get another break. And Chang right back out onto the field
they got
for
their
Arizona.
Big target. Nope.
Maxfield. And disc in the hands of Applegate as a pick is called. When tangled up.
So I keep mentioning the sun. It is a factor. It is the 8th person on the field. So if it does go up, you have a hope of a defender. Like, this is going to be difficult. I can get to it. I can be in the vicinity and definitely distract the receiver.
Kaiser, high stall.
Chip Chang making it happen.
Harris nearly had the hand block, and Chang just trying to make it happen. Gazelle not able to get there. The former D1 goalkeeper not able to quite get the height to reel in that hammer throw from Chang.
I was talking with her before the game. She says that she understands the math is simple and likes her team. Right now, they're in a hole. Let's see what happens. Can her team respond? Knocking at the door again for the Sidewinders.
This goes off the hands of Lube, gives Arizona a short field, and despite her best effort, Chang can't quite get there for Arizona, and fast break opportunity on for San Francisco. Liza Chang thought about it, and timeout call from the sideline. Disco goal. Timeout taken while the disc was in the hands of Eliza Chang. San Francisco coaches opted to take time with just around 30 seconds left in the quarter. And Falcons looking well on their way to championship weekend. It may be a little bit too soon, but it is a 7-goal margin. Lawrence, for San Francisco, what would it mean to make it to championship weekend on their second effort, their second season, coming out of the Southwest, a 4-4 record? They've been spotty, but a couple of those losses at home, and they get to play up in Seattle if they do win this game and make it to championship weekend.
I think they're happy. They've got some progression. They've got 2 solid wins. One that forced them to dig deep to get the win in Colorado. And here, they're showing that they're able to score deep when they need to. They can go down the field. Both O and D lines are stepping up and doing great. And I think for the franchise, I think this is amazing that they get to go to championship weekend.
Something we talked about at the beginning of the season for this very turned over San Francisco roster from the 2022 iteration. Only 11 returners from the 2022 roster carrying over to the 2023 roster. And certainly I think Coach Lariani, if the Falcons do go on to win this game, will be very pleased with their team's performance and ability to gut it out in these key moments to earn a trip to championship weekend. But first, got to finish out the game. Julie Ting getting the reset. And low inside throw to Sam Applegate. Falcons not far away. Ting able to lay out to save possession for San Francisco. Pugh. Definitely some subs for San Francisco as they try and convert this break chance. Ting, Pugh, time has expired, so this will either end in a score or a turnover. Helen Eifert with an incredible play to prevent the score for San Francisco, but it remains a 7-goal advantage for the Falcons, up 12-5 at the end of the third quarter.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful play. When you see an athlete fly, that's the type of energy the Sidewinders need to bring in to the last quarter. This is what you're looking at this is the last quarter of our season. We put it all out there, let it happen. We're going to play for pride, or we're going to play to go to the playoffs. But something's on the line. Let's see how they respond. One other thing I want to say, Sidewinders need to put it in the end zone. When it goes up, you time it right. Someone needs, it's like when you put the soccer ball in the goal area. You never know what happens when it's in the box. The same thing here. They need to score and throw it into the end zone, and someone needs to come down with it. And then you make it even tougher for the Falcons to go down the field. But the deep throws need to find somebody in the end zone if you're going to up their percentage of scoring.
Well, we'll see how it plays out in the final quarter of action. We're going to step away for a moment. When we come back, the final quarter of action from Oakland, California. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Not only do members get access to our best wines, they become part of our extended family and play a huge role in the way we run our business and make our wines. Being a member is fun, exciting, and informative. We work very hard to make sure our club members receive our best wines in their shipments, along with detailed information from our owners, winemaking team, and tasting room staff. There's never a shortage of entertainment at Castoro, and our members are always kept in the loop and taken great care of. From member-only events to Whale Rock Music and Arts Festival, our club encourages you to live life to the fullest. We invite all to join, from the wine connoisseur to the casual wine drinker. For us, it's about sharing our passion and love for making damn fine wine. Join the club and join the family today.
And welcome back to Oakland, California for the final quarter of play between the San Francisco Falcons and the Arizona Sidewinders in the final regular season game for both teams. San Francisco holding a 12-5 lead over Arizona. I'm Jenna Weiner, joined one last time in the booth by Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence. It's going to take quite a bit for Arizona to make a comeback, and they get the chance to start it on defense, and if they can get a quick early break, that could help boost their energy heading in to the rest of this final quarter of action. Arizona starting in a person matchup. Pugh, Anderson near sideline. Up the line to Maru. Maru finds Ting unguarded as Arizona loaded up. Schumacher. Ting, Schumacher. San Francisco punching it through the wall. Ting unguarded. Thinks about the option. Instead, finds the inside throw to Pugh. Easy as you like for San Francisco. That makes it an 8-goal lead, 13-5.
Fans are very appreciative. Falcons doing what the Falcons are doing, going right down the field. Didn't blink. So let's see if the strategy for the Sidewinders are going to play out. Are they going to shoot quickly and hopefully convert?
No point differential at play this time. Last year when you and I were in the booth for the San Francisco-LA game in the final quarter of action, we were talking through all the different point differential scenarios that eventually sent Arizona to championship weekend despite not being in action in that final weekend. Last year, this time it's simply win and you're in. And so it's going to have to be a big comeback for Arizona in order to make it happen in the closing stages. Harris on the pull. Again, wind still going left to right across your screen, and will hopefully help the Sidewinders offense. They get it in motion. Applegate to Chang. Crossed on the far sideline. Back to Chang. Underneath to Landry. Landry's been a great option for the Sidewinders all game. Now Maxfield, O'Connell, Applegate.
Nice containment for the around.
Chip Chang able to get free, able to get the assist for the goal. That's an Arizona hole. Melissa Steller with the reception. Brings it to 13-6 in San Francisco's favor.
So that's what it looks like when Chip Chang is in space. That was a pretty quick score. Let's see if the Sidewinders can hold. They cannot trade. If they trade back and forth, Falcons have it easy.
Yeah, that vaunted Arizona defense, we talked about it at the beginning of the game, how many different break chances they could generate. And while they've had their chances, I don't think Arizona has scored a single break all game. It has been all San Francisco. Even with those opportunities, Arizona's defensive line offense just mostly anemic, to be honest, so far this game with no breaks to show.
Well, I assure you that was not on the Sidewinders' to-do list, not have any breaks. So right, they got to have breaks because they're not going to win a shootout. The breaks have to happen as part of this, and that would be the same thing. The Falcons have to have breaks. Oh, looking deep.
Ting, over the top. Oh, Applegate not quite able to get there. Nearly made the spectacular grab. But Sam Applegate not able to make the reception.
It was a beautiful layout.
Nearly, but Jordan Harn will play back into play. Here's the first chance of this quarter for Arizona's defensive line offense. Opting to go quickly, trying to find Thomas. Pugh able to read the shorted Huck. Again, Arizona having to go upwind on their defensive line offense right now. San Francisco happy to work it downwind, and Maru seemed to maybe just lose the disc in the sun, and another break chance for Arizona.
Someone's got to go.
Maxfield not quite able to connect on the throw to Harn. Anderson leading throw to Schumacher. Schumacher, Weeby, fourth goal of the game. That is a 14-6 San Francisco lead. They are well on their way.
So then you come to this next question. Do you just start subbing wide? Give players that are not getting a lot of touches more touches on the D-line? Mix things up and see different combinations?
I think if it were me, I think you only are playing with 21 players. I don't think it's necessarily been an issue for San Francisco. I haven't been keeping exact track of which players are getting how many points so far this game. I think it seems like they've been rotating pretty cleanly through. Maybe that is something to consider with this 8-goal margin with under 10 minutes to play. But something to think about just in terms of San Francisco, that what can you do to prep? What different scenarios can you put yourself in to both close out this game and prepare for an eventual championship weekend? Although that's not happening until the first weekend of June. If or when the Falcons get there, they will have plenty of time to rest, watch tape, and get ready.
Right, absolutely. Well, I was really talking. I mean, so the Sidewinders, you can continue to shoot. They're not. They don't seem to be having anything in the playbook to go. We're going to go. We're launching people. And
Falcons putting on a bit of a zone or a wall look of some kind, try and slow Arizona even further down. So far, the Sidewinders able to work through it. Applegate, Chip Chang working in the backfield once again for Arizona. Liza Chang applying the mark onto Applegate. Now on to Chip Chang. Chip Chang trying to go over the top, able to connect on the over-the-top throw. Throws them behind, but able to be caught by Stellar. But floated throw. Kaiser not able to reel it in. And San Francisco is going to take their time. She's going to put the disc back into play for the Falcons.
Falcons have a pep in their step.
But low throw from Wynn. Acknowledges her mistake.
It's definitely my bad.
And Landry totally unmarked at the moment. This near side with Stellar. Chang tries to get the upline. High stall. Wynn calling the stall on Stellar. Contested stall. Send the disc back. Stall will come in on 5. Again with the pre-count. And Stellar able to get the reset to Applegate. Applegate. Inside throw. Low. And off the hands. A couple of Sidewinders players hit the turf. But not to be. As clock continues to burn away from Arizona's favor. Loop. Shooting deep. And Paige Applegate not quite there. Pinwin Wong with the reception. Near side, Eliza Chang, angle pass into the wind, not going to happen. And that'll get the disc back to the Sidewinders, but once again with the length of the field to go.
Yeah, it was you can look at it as a punt, undesigned punt.
Again, clock continues to run. Nearing halfway through this final quarter of play. Arizona's chances are dwindling alongside the clock. Scuba throw gets Sidewinders out of trouble momentarily.
Would love to have seen some of that earlier when it opened up some more scoring opportunities.
Chip Chang, Paige Applegate continuing to work in the backfield while San Francisco continues to sit in their zone look.
Sun is probably low enough. There's the matchup. Nope.
Stellar, Landry, Chang. Still in bounds. Near sideline, hammer over the top. It's going to work this time. Yes, it is. Over to Doust. Stellar, Landry. Kaiser. Paige Applegate. Floated over the top. Landry score. Arizona with the goal brings the score to 14-7 in San Francisco's favor.
Yeah, those inverted throws, I like those, especially in the zone and all this field space. little too late, but definitely one of the things I would hope the Sidewinders would do, they catch those throws and look downfield. You've got all this space to do, but they holster it, a lot of prudence. Now's not the time to be prudent. Going forward needs to have a level of urgency. But there's style points. If you're throwing away hectically, it looks like you're frenetic. But if you have it built in, like, we're hot right now, we have to go hot, then you've got some sort of script. You go to the corner, we're going to throw a hammer scooper, something.
However, it still remains all in San Francisco's favor, up 14-7, under 6 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. San Francisco, as you said, as we started this final quarter of play, happy to trade, happy to go goal for goal for goal and just run out the clock and book their ticket to championship weekend.
Falcons look real comfortable running their O.
Schumacher over the top. Weeby again. Connection? Not quite. Just off the hands.
So it's really fun as a cutter when you know your handler, when they get the disc, are going to be looking for you. You've got that extra pep in your step, and it was a nice boost by Gina Schumacher.
Another break chance for Arizona. But again, having to work the length of the field, having to work into the sun and into the headwind. Going to be a challenge. High throw reeled in by Powell, far sideline. And Anderson, point block, trying to get the crowd amped up for it. Was unclear if it was potentially going to be a foul call, but clean on the point block from Anderson on Powell. And Weeby adds to the goal tally. That's 5 for Weeby from Anderson. On the assist from Anderson, and it's 15-7 San Francisco.
That was great.
Anderson with the combo block and assist. Nice mark on Powell. Forces the quick turnover after the brief Arizona break chance, and it's another San Francisco hold.
It's beautiful to see the Falcons, how smooth they're in their offense. It's exciting to watch when they're in flow. So let me give some props to the Sidewinders. Their heads are up. They're looking fine. There's no shoulders slumped. They're fighting all the way through. They're just running into a Falcons team who are stronger in this particular matchup.
And as mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Arizona has generally struggled away from home. In the regular season, their only regular season win on the road coming in their last action against LA Astra. So not necessarily a huge surprise that Arizona is not quite able to put it together on the road, but something to potentially look forward to for the upcoming season for the Sidewinders is their road form. As O'Connell swings it wide. Chang, Gazelle, far sideline Landry. Landry back to Chip Chang. To Caroline O'Connell. For Arizona, game might just be about out of reach, but can still put points on the board, can still give good credit to yourselves, and certainly no shame in losing a tough win-or-go-home. One team was always going to miss out coming out of tonight, and it's looking like that's going to be Arizona. But on another night, could have absolutely gone the other way.
Yeah, well put. Absolutely.
Landry just able to get to Maxfield, despite the heavy pressure from Wong.
2 great catches.
Another sliding grab from Applegate.
Beautiful around.
San Francisco's defense has remained fairly solid all evening. Really making things difficult. But it's Gazelle with the catch for the score. That's a Sidewinders hold. It's now 15-8 San Francisco.
Yeah, they went east to west a lot, the Sidewinders, and the Falcons were very content to let that happen. You can burn daylight all you want, and we'll let you do that.
Under 3 minutes to play. San Francisco with a commanding 15-8 lead. So looking ahead to championship weekend, I feel pretty confident at this point. Don't want to say it's too early, but a 7-point gap with under 3 minutes to play would be quite the sudden comeback for the Sidewinders. Falcons will advance to their first championship weekend in franchise history. The second seed out of the Southwest Conference, sitting at a 4-4 record behind San Diego Super Bloom, who will play their final game of the regular season next weekend away at LA Astra. Not entirely sure what the matchups are going to be for the Falcons. You would presume that they would match up against a Northwest Conference opponent, but that conference still very much to be decided. Most of their games loaded up in these last 2 weekends. Nice block for Kaya Trepp. Able to get the Sidewinders another chance late. And timeout called from Arizona. Trying to convert one final, potentially final break chance with the game winding down. Lawrence, any thoughts on what the Falcons should be looking forward to ahead of a uncertain potential Northwest Conference opponent? Could be any number of different teams, all 4 Northwest Conference teams going to be playing each other at the Rocky Mountain Rumble in the final weekend of the season out in Colorado.
Well, any team that they run into, with the exception of Super Bloom or Tempest, if they play their game, I think everyone says if we play our game. If the Falcons play their game, get into space comfortably, make tough catches. You need to catch the disc. You catch the disc and go forward, everything can happen, and they are well in the game anytime. So don't know, but right now I know when the Falcons play their game, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Certainly something that we've seen from San Francisco tonight, generally looking pretty composed on offense. Obviously, a few unforced error miscues that the Sidewinders did not punish. Maybe this is a different game if the Sidewinders take advantage of a few of those early San Francisco mistakes. But Falcons, this is looking like a much more polished team than we've seen in other instances. Yeah. And that's really great, especially with a full month or so ahead of championship weekend for prep. To finish this game, of course, but nearly have it in hand as Maxfield has it on the near sideline for Arizona.
I think it's safe to say now.
Applegate, Page that is not able to get the throw up the sideline. Hammer with the block for San Francisco. Chu, inside throw to Loop. Back to Chu. Chen on the inside cut. Chu opts for the around to win over the top. Trying to find Loop. Is going to float enough. Going to float too much. In fact, Eifert there with the denial. Just about a minute and a half remaining in this game. Sidewinders try and get one final break score.
So let me turn the question on you. The Falcons. How they should be looking at the playoffs, the championship weekend.
I think if you're San Francisco, I agree. From what we saw last season and so far this season, Seattle Tempest and San Diego Super Bloom look the 2 strongest teams. Oh, a near Callahan there from Eliza Chang gives the Falcons a short field. I answer more to your question in a moment, as I think Coach Dariani opts to take another timeout. Hey, if you're Coach Dariani, this is what you want. End of game situation. I call a timeout. Try and work an end zone set. Maybe call some sort of play out of a timeout that you haven't really had that much opportunity to practice. Take the time now. Work on it. But I think if you're San Francisco, my guess in terms of the playoff format, the first seed in the Northwest will play the second seed in the Southwest and vice versa. Top seed, San Diego Super Bloom, out of the Southwest Conference will play the second seed out of the Northwest Conference. I think if you're San Francisco, you are hoping that anyone, to your point, but Seattle takes that top seed out of the Northwest Conference, especially given the troubles opening the season for both Colorado and Oregon, both 0-3 starts early. I think that's something where for San Francisco, you fancy that matchup. They had a really close game with Utah that they just barely dropped at Wild Weekend. They beat Alpenglow by 1. They haven't seen Oregon so far this season, but certainly from what we've seen from Onyx, that would be a fun matchup. If you're the Falcons, you were hoping that anyone except for Seattle takes that top Northwest Conference spot. But hey, if it's Seattle, that's always fun. San Francisco versus Seattle couldn't really complain.
No, you're right. But the condition. Ooh,
Scuba!
Saucy!
Pew! Woo! Speedy Scuba across the win.
Wow.
That's some fun punctuation. Just over a minute to play. 16-8 San Francisco lead.
Did Coach Dariani draw that up? Oh, by the way, we're going to scuba to the ace in the middle.
Perhaps. Maybe it was something where
we have to ask you about it.
Where she turned it over to her players and say, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And Eliza Pugh was like, "Hey, yeah, I might have the height advantage on the mark. Could get over the top to Jacqueline Wynn across the field, and hey, you take it, it works." Just adding to that margin as this will be surely a celebratory finish for San Francisco.
But I want to go to a point you made earlier is that, okay, Coach Dariani called a timeout. You can't replicate red zone touches in practice. You can't. And these are going to be critical, especially when you play the top teams in either league. You want to definitely maximize those and kick them in, and that was a great opportunity that they took advantage of. They did.
And we are at a minute left in this final regular season game for the San Francisco Falcons, and a foot block, I think it is, from Shayla Harris. The immediate denial on O'Connell.
Now they look deep.
Will give San Francisco another break chance. Inside throw to Mankoff. Chen, Stepanitis.
Falcons in flow.
Back to Munson. Munson, floaty throw to the foot blocking Harris. Floaty throw, double coverage. Just off the hands of Vicky Chen. Nearly another highlight play from San Francisco.
It was beautiful. Nice. The Falcons are in flow. They're beautiful to watch.
What a statement block from Harris. Sure doesn't immediately lead to a goal, but a foot block in the late stages of the game, always fun highlight to get. Arizona disc near sideline. Landry comes underneath for O'Connell. Landry, throw is shorted by Stepanitis. Stepanitis gets the block. And it's just a matter of the last seconds. Harris with the disc. And time has run out. Falcons can do what they want with this possession. Pick called. Disc will stay with Mankoff.
Time has run out on the game, so it's all possession.
If you're the Falcons, you could choose to place possession out, could choose to end the game right here. It's like Stepanitis has steps, at least it did initially before the pre-stall count. Stepanitis comes under for the disc. Across the Chen, far sideline.
Play it to score. You cannot replicate this in practice. Let's see what they do. The red zone O.
Wataoka, far sideline, inside throw to Munson, 5 yards out. Resets to Wataoka. Round to Chen. End zone practice, goes awry. Chen not able to get there, but that is a Falcons win. They move on to championship weekend. 16-8 winners of the Arizona Sidewinders.
Everybody on the field sort of stunned who was part of that play. Was it a foul? Was it not? The game is over. And the fans are very appreciative of the Falcons' win. Great home win, first home win, and they've punched their card to championship weekend, which is exciting for the franchise.
Falcons will celebrate as the teams move into their high five line. And Southwest Conference is decided. San Diego Super Bloom will top the conference regardless of the result against LA away next weekend. Then the San Francisco Falcons at 4-4, and then Arizona Sidewinders 3-5, and LA Astra record still to be decided after next weekend. For more Western Ultimate League action, there is more coming. The Southwest Conference, as we were talking about, still very much to be decided. So make sure you tune in to the Western Ultimate League YouTube channel. Follow along the next couple weeks as we figure out who the Falcons' opponents will be at championship weekend. Figure out who will take down the Northwest Conference this season. Lawrence, any other final thoughts from us before we sign off?
2 thoughts. For the Sidewinders, you get home, you're thinking about how could we do better. You know, you sit in a quiet corner, think about your personal duties, your team duties, and get back at it. For the Falcons, congratulations, big props, and good luck at championship weekend.
I've been Jenna Weiner, joined by Lawrence McKendall. It has been a pleasure talking to you from the booth. Once more, the San Francisco Falcons moving on to championship weekend, 16-8 winners over the Arizona Sidewinders. Thanks for joining us.